Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our branding and marketing workshop. This has been a really fun topic for us that we've been discussing for several weeks now that we really wanted to impart to the team. And for most of you know that James and I flew out to Isagenix. We got a call from Travis Garza, and he invited us to come to headquarters for a branding workshop there to cast the vision of where the company is going. And James and I left there, and we were really excited because we saw that our team is on track and we're doing the right things. You are doing the right things. But what we also really began to see is that times are continuing to evolve. Social media, Instagram has become the new platform. Virtual business that will empower you to make as little or as much income as you desire to make. And so what we want to do is we desire and we envision this call to be an empowering call for you, that you would be on this call and you would feel freedom to build your business in the way that is in alignment for you to build this business. Because the way that Price is going to build her business is going to be different than Ellen Kimball, which is going to be different than Alicia Wright. But what we're going to do is we're going to give you a broad spectrum of what you can do to hone your skills specifically on the platform of Instagram tonight. So we don't want you to get overwhelmed. We want you to find freedom in whatever it is that you hear tonight that resonates with you. For some of you, you're going to take everything that we say and you're going to apply it immediately. Others, you're going to take part of what we say and you're going to apply it. And some of you may take one or two nuggets and apply it. So we wanted to preface this call by saying, take what is right for you and what you hear during this call and apply it to your business in the way that feels congruent to where you are when building your Isagenix business.
And just as kind of an expression of how amazing, social media and network marketing in general is a whole. Yes, Lisa, this is definitely going to be recorded. Just to show where we're at in 2018, I would love if everybody would comment where they're calling in from right now, just so that we can see how all over the map we are, and how if you want to take what we're saying and apply it, that you really can grow a network and grow a business that is not just all over the continental US, but very much so can be internationally. And so, thinking and dreaming, okay, I have right now a local team, or I have some that are in the close, cities, but what about if I really start to leverage Instagram and I grow that beyond, and I can start attracting people from, Denver or Washington or Maine or Minneapolis, you name it. And so, like Audrye was saying, the times are evolving, and what I would encourage all of you guys, and something we're continuing to learn ourselves and continuing to press into, is being okay with accepting newness, and maybe letting go with things that aren't serving us going forward. Being okay with evolving and embracing it and accepting it as an adventure, as excitement, instead of, maybe something to fear. And so we're really want to impart to all of you tonight is the adaptation and being able to adapt and change, because everything that we're going to share tonight is very, very valuable, and we believe it's so relevant to the world that we're living in right now. But you all know that the world is changing so quickly and evolving so quickly that in 12 months, this stuff could be, really old news. And so it's going to require us to shift, to pivot, to grow and progress, and maybe not hold on to the things that worked then or works now that might not work and be so effective in 12 months. Having that feel of saying, you know what, this is what's really starting to drive traffic. Because we all know, when we've seen the progression of MySpace and Facebook and all of this stuff, it's only going to continue to evolve and progress. And so as we're on this call, you might hear stuff like she said that doesn't really resonate with you right now. That's okay. We don't want you guys to leave this feeling pressured or stressed or overwhelmed. We want you to feel free and empowered and educated to what this can really be. But it also might look like trying some things you haven't done or implementing some things you haven't done before. Does that make sense?
Awesome. So any of the things that you are going to hear tonight that you might already know, just let this be a refresher. And some of the things are going to be new that we're going to be sharing. We have slides that we put together. So we are going to share the screen right now so you can see the slides that we've put together. And if you don't already have a pen and paper, this is a workshop. So we are going to be teaching. And if you have questions regarding whatever it is that we are teaching, we are going to have a Q&A at the very end of the workshop. So can everybody, let's just minimize, hold on 1 second.
You want to minimize this?
Just make it a little bit smaller so everyone can see.
Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Okay.
Okay. So the goal of this call is that you would leave this call empowered to utilize your social media so that you can become more of an influencer versus an infomercial. And we are going to share with you what specifically that looks like. Now, we are talking to you on the line who desires to make an income, a substantial residual income with Isagenix. When I first began my Isagenix journey, I didn't utilize Instagram as a tool. I posted whatever I wanted to post at any time that I wanted to post it, and I didn't see it as a valuable tool to grow my influence and to use it as an income-producing activity on a daily basis. So what our hearts is that you would leave here saying, you know what, I'm going to make the shift because I'm a professional network marketer to use my Instagram as a tool to build my influence, to grow my team, to bring in new enrollments, and to create a substantial residual income. If you want to create a large marketing, specifically Isagenix, comment in the chats, me. And maybe you want to share where you're going to be in Isagenix because we feed off of each other's energy. So this is the theme. This is what our vision is for tonight's call, to teach you how to become an influencer on your Instagram so that you have the power and you empower others to see what you're doing and it's attractive to the people who are watching you.
Yes. So getting into it.
The first thing that we want to talk about
is the avatar. And we have talked about this on a couple of different calls. Maybe for some of you guys it's new, but we wanted to talk a little bit tonight of why that's important, how we've seen it be beneficial to us, and then kind of help you guys and help us all find our avatar and just do that tonight so we can go ahead and break some ground on that.
So what is our avatar? Your avatar is your ideal business partner. This is somebody who you envision in your mind and you say, this is exactly who I want to attract into my business.
And I want to also speak to that. And when you're thinking about Isagenix and growing your business, Zach and Eden Slobin talk about the top-down approach, meaning leading with the business and defaulting with the products. And that's what we would encourage all of you to do when you're looking, at your avatar, is maybe not looking at the ideal product user or maybe the ideal person who needs to lose 50 to 100 pounds, because we know that these products are going to benefit every single person that puts a shake in their mouth. But finding the person who wants to run with you and is in a season of their life to run with you in the business aspect and sharing it with other people, and also having the products enhance their lives as well. When you switch your focus to looking for business people as opposed to finding product users and trying to turn them into business people, you'll find that more people you enroll will actually want to share this with others.
Yeah, and a lot of people who do start out as product users, they will become business builders when they fall in love with the products. That was my mom and my dad. That was, I know, Joni McLeod. That was Allie. So there are people who come into the business just wanting to use the products, and then they end up becoming business builders. So those are valuable as well. But then you have an other spectrum where you have someone like Lane and Chelsea who came into the business and they said, we see this vision, we want this, and everybody knows they made $50,000 their first year in Isogenics. So your avatar is your ideal business partner.
And another thing that I want to say before we move on, one of the things that was reiterated when we were out in Phoenix is that we do not want to be everything for everyone. And what I mean by that is you will do yourself and your audience so much service when you get really focused on who you are talking to, your target audience. More than that, but that you're speaking to a specific group or type of person or a season of life, and it's going to change as our journeys change and whatnot. But if we try and be everything to everyone, then people looking at us might, who don't know what Isogenics is or what Freedom Living Tea is, they might have a hard time figuring us out because we're so multi-dimensional that they're like, you know what, this really isn't a place for me because these guys fill in all the gaps for everybody, and I'm just looking for,
Something
X
specific.
solution. So feel free to hone in a little bit of who it is you're looking for, knowing that you'll attract more, but that you are looking for this type of person when it comes to an avatar or a business builder.
Yes. So what does it do? When you create your avatar, which we are going to help you create your avatar tonight, it helps you become clear on your marketing. And I know for me, nobody likes confusion. Nobody likes chaos. We all love clarity. And when it comes to utilizing your Instagram, clarity is essential. What I found, just like what James has said, when I honed in and focused specifically on who it is that I desire to attract, on who my ideal business partner is, not only are those people being attracted to me, but other people who just want to use the products are as well. But I'm honing in, my posts become more clear, my mind becomes more clear, and my marketing becomes more clear. It also allows you to hone into the specific person or persons instead of throwing a wide net, which is exactly what James said. And not only are you going to see your posture on social media begin to take the posture of a professional network marketer, but it's going to continue to change your posture in person. So as you hone in on your avatar and as you focus on that specific person, we all know what you focus on expands. Well, if you're focusing on your social media about marketing to your ideal business partner, when you go out into the world, what's going to happen is your antennas for your ideal business partner are going to go up. So when you're out on a shopping spree at the mall, or maybe you're on a golf outing with some of your buddies, you are aware of who your ideal business partner is because your posture begins to change. Your posture begins to change and you begin to take the role as the professional network marketer as we believe that you already are.
And psychologically going along exactly to that, have any of you guys bought a car and the next week as you're driving that brand new car, you see 1,000 cars that are the exact same that you previously didn't see on the road? That's happened to all of us, right? And you're like, well, I guess all these people bought the same 4Runner when I did last week. What happens is you've identified what is a priority to you, what you're looking for. And so what your subconscious does is it highlights everything else that's just in your peripheral that is similar or has the same qualities. And so you see all of the red cars, or you see all of the SUVs, just like the one you bought, because it's something that, you've distinguished as a high priority to you. It's the exact same thing with your avatar. When you distinguish those qualities that you're looking for in a human being, and you define them, and we're going to do it here in a little bit of just writing out details of creating your person, then you're going to start seeing it in people, and you're going to start seeing, wow, that person has open. They're very receptive to new ideas there's not a lot of pride or a lot of ego. They seem like they are receptive to other stuff. That's going to highlight, like she was just saying, and your little beacons are going to go off and be like, hey, this is somebody I might actually be looking for. So just know that it's the same thing, and it goes into your mindset as well.
Yes. So how are you going to create your own? I'm going to share with you who my avatar is, and I'm going to let James share with you who his avatar is so you can see an example. My avatar, her name is Emma. Emma is 27, about to be 28 now because, we're going into the summer. So she's 27 years old. She's been married for 2.5 years, has 2 golden doodle puppies. She's a teacher, but she's looking for network marketing. She's looking for residual income because in her summer months, she's off work and she's looking for a way to make extra income because her desire really isn't to spend the next 40 to 50 years working as a teacher. She wants to be a wife and a stay-at-home mom when her and her husband decide that they want to have kids. Her hobbies, she does women's Bible study. She loves fashion blogging. She loves to wear pastel-colored clothes. She's blonde hair, blue eyes. She loves the Lord. She has a great personality. When people walk into the room, she makes everybody feel incredibly special. Emma is looking for me, and I am looking for Emma. And every single time that I post something on my Instagram, I am posting specifically to Emma. Because Emma is somebody that not only would I want to be business partners with, but she's somebody that I would want to be really great friends with. Because I want to be friends with every single one of you who are on Freedom Living Team. You're the salt of the earth people. I want to attract more people. The mindset of desiring and wanting more, who dreams bigger for their life, who's looking for something more. Now, when I honed in to who Emma was, when I began to take that posture on my social media, I began to get so crystal clear that my marketing was no longer for everybody and their brother and sister. It was specifically to Emma because Emma is my ideal business partner. Now, Emma may have brown hair and brown eyes, but I have a picture and an idea of who it is that I desire to link arms with me because I desire women's community, and Emma is looking for women's community. So when I leave my house, I ask myself, if I ran into Emma, do I look the part? Am I expectant of meeting Emmas out in the world? And when I leave my house, I leave with an expectancy to meet Emma because my antennas are up because of the avatar that I've created.
So mine is not a 28-year-old female, and that's okay, right? We don't need to be everything to everyone. My avatar's name is Kyle. He's 30. He went to school for business, and he's been in sales for the past 4 or 5 years. He's married. His wife is a school teacher, and he is at that stage in his life where he's deep enough in his career that he's figured out that he doesn't want to do that for the rest of his life. And he's realizing that he and his wife's life are becoming a little bit more distant than he ever thought they would. And he would love to be able to build something with her and do it in the, with the flexibility where they can, take trips and whatnot. He's heard of network marketing and he's seen other people do different companies and whatnot, but he's never seen it done in a way that resonates with him. He's open to it. He just doesn't believe that there's, maybe real money because he's never really seen it portrayed in an accurate way, in a real business type of way. And he's searching for other avenues right now because he's realizing that he can't stay where he's at for much longer because he'll just pull his hair out and he's stressed and he realizes he doesn't want to go down the path that he's seen, the more mature or his parents or whatnot go down, where they end up, not having the option that he desires to have with his wife. So he would love to do something in conjunction with his wife and is looking for other ways to make money. And he's looking for somebody who's doing it in a legitimate yet very classy way. So that's who I'm looking for. And it's so funny because 3 days ago, this one of a trainer at the gym that I go to, or his wife's a trainer, but he goes to the gym. He reached out to me and said, "Hey man, I've been following you for a little bit. I would love to know more about what you do." And we just started a conversation, and it's amazing because he's the exact type of person that I'm looking for. So just like Audrye was saying, when you're very clear on who you're looking for, who is attracted to you and how those conversations start.
Now, a show of hands, how many of you envisioned Emma and Kyle as we were describing them? Raise your hand if that was you. If you envisioned them as we were describing them, how many of you feel like you know those people? Like after we talked about them, did it feel like we were great friends with them? That is what we want every single one of you to leave here tonight with. Get specific on who it is and ask yourself, is this the person that I've been connecting with? Have I been having conversations with people that are low energy and are really negative? Because if I've been having conversations with those types of people, that isn't good. That type of person isn't going to bring me to a six-figure income. But somebody like Emma and somebody like Kyle who have those qualities and that desire is going to bring somebody like you on the line to a $20,000 a year income, or a $30,000 a year income, or a $50,000 a year income, or $70,000, or a six-figure income. So let's get specific on who your avatar is. And when we get off this line tonight, we encourage all of you to go even deeper. Visualize who your avatar is, and then pray for those ideal business partners to attract you, to be attracted into your business. What you focus on expands. So what is your avatar's name? Think about it. The reason I chose Emma was because that was my favorite name when I was a little girl growing up. I love Emma. What's their hair color? What is their eye color? What is their profession? Are they single, engaged, married? Get specific. Pets. Do they have any pets? Why are they praying or looking for you? What are their hobbies? What do they look like? What is their fashion sense? What are their parents' names? If they're married, what does their husband do? Get very, very specific on who it is that you want to attract. And the more that you do that, and the more that you become the qualities that you're desiring, the more you're going to see that begin to appear in your business. So the theme of your Instagram is to attract friends. I'm going to read you something that I screenshot from a girl named Jasmine Star, who is somebody that I've learned a lot from when it comes to marketing and branding on Instagram. And I'm going to read this to you. And I want you to I'm going to read it slowly because I want you to just absorb what she said. I used to think the goal of social media was to get a lot of followers who liked me. I thought it was important to feel the same way LeBron James feels when he lifts a trophy above his head, or the way Kanye West holds a microphone. Basically, supposed to make me feel like a bad A. In a short amount of time, I realized social media just made me feel bad. I compared my accounts to others, wondered why I wasn't getting new followers, and believed my life wasn't half as cool as my peers. But really, how are they so cool? Yeah, bad. It wasn't until I realized the goal of social media was just to be social. That's it. It's simply to show up for those who are patiently waiting for what you have to share online. It doesn't have to be thousands of followers. My job, your job, is to talk to those who are at your social party, who are desiring isogenics. Make them your friends. Pour them punch. Turn up the music. Basically, dance with those who showed up. They're there, waiting. Shake what your mama gave you and have fun along the way. And I appreciated that so much, because how many of you felt released to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to use this to attract more friends and still be my authentic self? Yes? Yes, perfect. So the theme of attracting friends is the people who are going to be drawn to your Instagram and inevitably enroll with you is because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Now, if you are an infomercial, and we're going to get into pictures and aesthetics here in a second, but just track with me here. And you take and you only post pictures of your shake and you say this is 23 grams of whey protein, vitamins, minerals, it's undenatured, happy cows in New Zealand. You're not really giving them much of who you are. You're just giving them facts about what it is that you're posting about. So again, in order to attract friends, the theme is to know you, like you, and trust you along the way.
And this develops a feel. I mean, this is, again, like she was saying, just like being social, just like creating and curating relationships anywhere, it's a feel, and it's about being congruent to who you are while attracting the person that, or the people that you are wanting to attract. And so the beautiful part about this, you guys, is that all of us are going to leave, hopefully with the same tools, maybe the same ideas, the same, thought processes, and we're going to execute it in a different way. And we're going to have a different feel, a different touch, a different song, so to speak, to all of our Instagrams, as each of us have an individual song to our lives. And that's the beautiful part. But it's finding that balance of building that rapport, not always posting, necessarily super deep stuff, but giving people a glimpse into who you are and maybe why Isagenix has been so impactful for you and how it has changed, your life. I think the most in the world is stories, right? Stories, people can relate to stories and people love stories. And so trying to, or not trying, but working that into your own vernacular of telling stories about, your shakes, about your friends, about your dog, about your marriage, whatever it is. And that's what I think people really want to get on and hear about, because that's when they want to engage and share their experiences as well. And that's where that relationship is built. Because
people aren't enrolling in Isagenix. Yes, they want to lose weight and have extra energy and make a secondary income, but they're enrolling on your team because of you. They're enrolling on your team because they feel like they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And that is to be of an encouragement. We are all evolving and growing to deeper levels of who God has called us to be. So when you are looking at your Instagram, that is what we want. You are the brand. It is so important. I mean, this goes as far as to say, when it's so important to take care of your product users and the people who say, I want to build this business, because if they have a bad experience, it falls back on me. It falls back on you. And so we are the brand. We hold ourselves. What standard are you going to hold yourself to?
And that goes completely transferable to your, obviously, belly-to-belly relationships. Mm-hmm. People are they're going to want to enroll, and they're going to want to know more about you and what you do and how you do it, because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Mm-hmm. And more often than not, because you show more interest in them, genuinely who they are. And we've done a lot of talking about that, but all of this is in a large portion transferable to any style of connecting.
And just for a side note, anytime I meet a new girlfriend, I call them sister friend. Like, I might have known them for a matter of 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm like, you are the best sister friend. And what that does is they say, oh my gosh, like, wow, she's just acting like she's known me forever, because I want friends. I want those relationships. I'm expectant of meeting those people. So I first heard branding, I got a little bit overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot to this. We want to make this simple for you. Every single person goes through different seasons of their life. So let's take this particular season that you are in right now in this moment. The season that you're in right now. What are 5 to 7 things that describe you in this season of your life?
Take 30 seconds. Take 30 seconds and just write down what are 5 to 7 things that are really important, that are high priority, and that represent and describe you in this season of your life. All right, perfect. So like Aud was saying, those are subject to change. Before Aud and I got married, one of her themes wasn't marriage, but now it is. And she's acknowledged that, and she's embraced that, and she's put that into part of her story and what people associate her with. So feel free. These don't have to be concrete. They're ever changing, but when you can kind of hone in on a couple, it really helps when coming up with content and all stuff like that.
So if you look at my Instagram, you're going to marriage, dogs, nutrition, business, traveling, and I'll throw in some fitness stuff in there as well, but that's like fitness and nutrition. That is the theme intertwined throughout my Instagram. I don't overwhelm myself with anything more than those things in this season of my life right now. And we're going to get into the captions and the pictures in a little bit here. But what are those things? When I look at Lane and Chelsea, well, oh my gosh, they're engaged right now. They are in love. They are building a business. Lane loves CrossFit. Neeland and Tucker, like what are the themes of the season of life that you're in right now? Stay in that wheelhouse because it'll allow you to be crystal clear on what it is that you want to post. And it allows us spreading out to where not every single post is going to be isogenics.
But also to that same effect, whenever we see a golden doodle out and about, we think of Lane. And whenever, Jackson Parr is somebody else who has a
brand of cats.
He has a brand of cats. And whenever I see a post about a cat, I think of Jackson. And so, what that does subtly is people are going to associate those things with you. And whenever they see those things, they'll be like, oh, wow, I see Taylor post about that. That reminds me of Taylor, or that reminds me of Joni, or that reminds me of Ellen or Tanya. And so that's also what it's doing to your audience. You're helping them associate you with other things, which is just going to kind of bring them back to you. Yeah,
and when you are posting about isogenics, it'll allow them to say, okay, when the time is ready for them, they're going to say, oh, I remember Jess, she posted about, a shake, and she's been doing these superfood shakes for 2 years. I'm going to reach out to her because the timing in my life is right. So 5 to 7 things. That is your brand in this season. And again, that can change, but allow that to be your brand and allow that to be what you focus on. Maybe your brand is your family, your kids. Maybe it's you love to cook, so you want to post healthy recipes. Maybe that is a part of your brand, but find those 5 to 7 things, and we're going to help you intertwine that in through your Instagram.
And the last thing I would say about this, I would encourage all of you guys, if, and I believe you all do, want this to pay you like a business. One of those words I believe needs to be business. And I think some people get a little bit confused because they don't realize that some people in network marketing are building a business because all they ever see is products. And so they maybe just think that they're using the products, or they don't know that they're actively building it and that they're making money with it, or they're helping anybody else make money with it. And so again, what you focus on and what you want more of, that's what you need to celebrate. And that's what you need to, expound to your audience. And so if you're wanting more business, if you're wanting more people to look at you and say, I want to line up with her, I want to run with her, then you do need to talk about it, or people won't inevitably say, it looks like she's running a business or he's running a business. I'll reach out to him. Does that make sense? So it doesn't need to be this huge, massive banner of I'm running a huge business, but sprinkling it in there so people can see, yes, you are actually building something on the side of whatever maybe your full-time job is, or your day job is, and you're actually making money with it, and you're actually helping other people get paid. You guys, that's powerful when people can see that.
Yeah. So the content of Instagram is your Instagram name and your bio, the captions, the pictures and aesthetics, and the Instagram stories. And those are going to be the things that we're focusing on in this next part of our workshop. So your Instagram name is it's important. So if your Instagram name is I love puppies, which I love puppies, but if my Instagram name was I love puppies, my brand isn't puppies. My brand is Audrye McLeod. So if your Instagram name congruent to where you want to be, if your name If you're saying you are, if your name really isn't your first and last name, or maybe it has a little spin-off, like I know Taylor's is Tay Smiz because her name is Taylor Smith. There's a million Taylor Smiths in the world. So her Instagram name is Tay Smiz because that allows her to stand apart. James's is James McLeod. Mine is Audrey Faye. If your Instagram name needs to be you, because then people who see your pictures and you pop up on the Explore page, they're not going to know who I Love Puppies is over and over and over again, but they are going to know who Audrey McLeod is, who James McLeod is, who Chelsea Taylor, she's going to be Chelsea Taylor in 28 days, who Chelsea Taylor is, who Ellen Kimball is. You want to make yourself as easily discoverable as possible. So when people meet you and they say, oh, I remember that girl's name, or I'm going to remember that guy's name, I'm going to go search him on Instagram. It's a lot easier if your username and your handle is your actual name. It'll be more, it'll be found easier. And that's what we want. You want people, the whole point of Instagram, you guys, is to get more eyes on the value that you're bringing to the world. That's the point of Instagram. It's so that more people can hear your story, more people can hear the impact that this nutrition and this business has had on your life, and that they can hear the story of Isogenics. And so if you're easily discoverable and you help other people see you better, that's only going to increase your enrollments, increase all that stuff. So that's why we encourage that, just to make it easier for them to find you. And when it comes to your postings, posting something every single day when you first start building this business, and when your business builders first start building this business, it is imperative. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, if I have to take out time every single day to make a post and that's overwhelming to you, take one day, maybe it's Sunday night at 8 p.m., an hour before the Zoom call, and write out your captions for the week. Write out what it is that you want to post throughout the week. We're going to show you an app to where you can actually put your pictures into an app, so you can just upload it at any time. It's already there. So pick one day maybe. Maybe for you, it's picking a day and saying, I'm going to put in my notes in my phone what I'm learning this week, what I want to share about regarding marriage, an encouraging word that I have about Jesus and who people are and their identity. I want to talk about this brand new consultant that just was created and the income that they're making. So that freed me up by saying, oh wow, I can actually, when I'm feeling inspired, I can write down those thoughts and just insert those into a caption, so I don't have to sit there on Monday and say, what do I post? What do I post? I need to post something today. It's already logged in my notes on my phone. Yeah. So some keywords that we found to be extremely important when building your brand when it comes to business on Facebook is the word business can be scary for some people. Right now, when you hear business, the majority of the world thinks of business as bricks and mortar. They think of starting up a business and having to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to build something and then maybe get out from under it within 5 years or so. It's overwhelming to them. So using keywords such as virtual health and wellness business from home, that sounds so good to so many people who are extremely busy and who have full-time jobs. Wi-Fi and a phone. All you need is Wi-Fi and a phone, and you can build a residual income from anywhere that you choose. You're putting in part-time hours to get a full-time income. These are keywords that you can start incorporating into your Instagram that will perk up the ears of the people who are watching you, who are looking at you. Holistic wellness. Holistic is a new word. We shared this with Isogenics. Isogenics is coming up with a brand new pillar that you're going to be seeing, and it's going to be called holistic wellness, holistic well-being. We think it's going to be called that. There were 4 of them that they're going to choose, but holistic is a new word that people are throwing around. What used to be really cool when I was in high school, ices. Going to Weigel's and getting ices used to be really cool. Right now, what's really cool is drinking kombucha, is going to Whole Foods, is eating holistically, having essential oils. The times that we're in right now is different than what it was when even I was in high school. People are catching on to diet drinks being terrible for you. People are catching on to processed sugar. So when you use keywords such as holistic, you are with the times. You are moving with the times. The millennials, that is what we are known for. Organic, holistic, Wi-Fi, virtual health and wellness business from home, from anywhere you choose. Those are things that are going to be extremely attractive to the people who are going to be looking at your Instagram.
Yeah, so let's, I think going into the bio, we have a couple of examples here of people that we just saw had good bios, and there's not a perfect way to do this. Again, there's structures, there's examples of what we see as, what we see the other leaders doing. We'll say that, who are having success with it. Now, we'll also say the Instagram influencers, they'll change their bios every 2 or 3 months. Again, this whole thing is about being adaptable, evolving, staying fluid, and keeping the conversation relevant for people, not getting stale and having the same thing, but reinventing, being okay with throwing in something new and spicy to continue to have engagement with your audience and the people that are newly following you.
And while still remaining authentic to who you are as a person.
Of course. And as we all agree on this line, we are all growing and we're all evolving and we're all progressing. And so the goal, I believe, for all of us would be that we're different people next year, this time. And we have different business centers and we have different people all around us. So yeah, that's a great point, babe. So this is Price. And this is what she says. Hi, I'm Price, loving Jesus, being a wife, and our pup, Junie B. And I'm a teacher by day, plus I run a virtual health and wellness business by night. Super short, gives her a little intro, and we thought that was great.
Yeah, it's amazing. And if you know Price, this is exactly her personality. Like when you see the wave next to Hi, I'm Price, like when I think of Price, all I see is just so much love, so much excitement. Like that is her. Also, I want to point out, she said, I'm a teacher by day, and she used a plus sign. As silly as it sounds, when you use plus signs, that is more aesthetically pleasing to the eye in this time than using an and sign. So that is very congruent to who she is. This is mine. Passionate about Jesus plus marriage, lover of dogs, leader in helping women regain their health plus develop financial freedom. That is my heart. I am looking for Emma. I'm here to help women. I want to build a community of women. Here's James's husband. Fitness.
I need to change my and sign. Whoops. Need to get somebody to.
Yeah, he does. We just screenshot that. Okay. Husband, fitness and nutrition, travel enthusiast, innovative business. I mean, if somebody looks at James's Instagram, they're going to be like, okay, I know exactly who he is and what he's all about. Here's Laura Stevens, company millionaire. She's number 11 worldwide in the company, anchored in Jesus, married to my CFO, mama and 7-figure earner, passion for entrepreneurship, giving back globally, dream big with God. It's amazing. Here's Lane's, helping people transform their life, health, wealth, fitness. I mean, that says exactly what Lane is doing, exactly what he's all about. You will go to his page, and in his bio, you'll say, okay, if I'm looking to transform my life, Lane's the guy I want to talk to. Is this helpful? Comment in the chats if this is helpful. Okay, wonderful. We're going to move on to captions now. And this is something that is exciting for me because your captions, your goal in your captions is number one, to be relatable, to be authentic. Remember that people can relate to pain points. I still post. I still make my posts about how I remember what it was like when I was, I've lost a total of 45 pounds now since starting Isogenics 5 years ago. What it was like when I was 45 pounds heavier, when I did not have hope, when oh my gosh, when it gives me so much, I just am so humbled at what God has done in my life. 5.5 years ago, I could not even afford a Redbox movie. People can relate to pain. So in your captions, you want to be relatable. Your very first sentence of your caption, and we're going to give you examples, needs to draw them in. If your very first sentence isn't just a drawing in of a sentence, people who don't really know you probably aren't going to read what you're saying.
And I'll cushion that with, if you're not, like some of mine, they're not always these really clever hooks. But if you're about to say something, because not all of my captions are really long and deep. Some of them are just more so, playful or short. But if you're wanting to convey a message or particular story to your audience, then yes, having a hook, having something that grabs their attention, we all can agree that there's not a lack of information. There's not a lack of stimulation going on right now. People are so overstimulated and so overinformed with so many different pictures, so many different captions, and our voices, let's be honest, if we get too focused on other people's voices, our voice can be lost in the process. And people resonate to your voice. They resonate to your story. And you don't need to change how you sound or necessarily all of this stuff about you, because you are you. And so with every post, you don't have to make it some, crazy hook that is like a, drop the mic, sentence. But if you are going to bring some more value, or maybe go into a deeper story, get creative with it, have fun with it, and think about how you go through Instagram and you just scroll through and what you might stop for if you read it and say, wait, I'll give this one more second and I'll read a couple of paragraphs about what this is about. Does that make sense? So just to kind of.
And with your captions, remember, you're writing to your avatar. You're writing to your Emma. So I'm not writing to meet the needs of every single human being in the world. I'm writing to Emma. I'm relating to Emma. Emma is going to understand of wanting more freedom in the summer months. She's going to be able to relate to me when I was looking outside of the window saying, I want to have more time freedom. So every caption, I'm thinking, this is to Emma. Remember, I'm not using my Instagram for anything other than as a tool to continue to build. I love to post about my life. I love posting about marriage. I love posting about Jesus, and I love posting about my friends and my family. But I am very intentional, and he is very intentional with the things that we post. One of the things that people really relate to in captions are sharing stories from your childhood and tying it into your brand now. Talking about how you were as a kid, the dreams that you used to have as a kid, and tying it into, well, now I'm actually pursuing those dreams again. I'm starting to dream again when I was little. Remember, sharing stories is what causes people to relate to who you are.
Yeah, and it gives people layers. It gives you depth of, it makes people kind of understand maybe a little bit of why you are the way you are. When they get to hear a little bit about your past and something that maybe happened.
So when you're posting a transformation post, it's great to say, I used to be the person who. That first sentence is going to draw somebody in. Well, who did they used to be? Oh my gosh, they used to be, low energy. I'm low energy right now. So using that phrase, I used to be the person who, or I remember when, or I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude for how far I've come. That first sentence for when coming into your transformation post. Your income post, congratulations, Sunday shout out. Just starting that first sentence so it gravitates and people are like, what are they congratulating, Lindsay for? What is the Sunday? Who's the Sunday shout out to? Who's the Monday shout out to? Using periods or dashes to separate your thoughts. So if you've seen a lot of people on Instagram, if they're posting long captions, it's better to break them up because it's easier to read. So how do you break them up? If you go to your notes in your phone, I'll go to my notes right now. If you go to your notes in your phone, I've got, I'll show you real quick. Okay, so I've got a caption right here regarding growth. I have the little.
Can you guys see us, or are you guys just looking at the? Can you guys see us, or are you just looking at this, the?
It's very small. Okay. So let me just explain this here. You explain it. You're better explaining than I am.
So what you're going to do is when you want to make a new paragraph, there needs to be a character for whatever reason. Instagram's text, in order to wrap it and make it go beneath and have a space, there needs to be a character, whether that's a period, whether that's a dash or an emoji. And so what you need to do is you'll go to the last word or the last space. I don't know what the exact wording is, where the line thing or the typer is, and you're going to click enter right after that. There's no period, space, enter. It has to be right after the period, and then you'll hit dash, and then you'll hit enter again, and that will wrap, and that will give the space between the paragraphs. And like she was saying, that it's more attainable for people. They can absorb it better when they can just maybe skim through and read the first sentence of each paragraph and gather that. So try it out. If you have any troubles with that, shoot myself or Audrye a text and we kind of break that down. But I hope that made sense as far as how I said that.
And then again, that breaks up long thoughts. I love posting and sharing my heart, but not every single post is going to be long, because if every post is long, your followers and the people who are looking at your page, they're not going to read it. It's too much. And if you post shorter things, then when you do post a long status, people are going to say, oh, wow, I want to read the depths of who, Janelle Moss is. I want to know the depths of her heart. So be aware of what your audience engages most with. Like my audience loves when I talk about marriage. So I'm aware that is what they love. So when it comes to engagement, it's really important when somebody comments on your photo to comment back 4 words or more. If you see your team members posting things on their Instagram, comment on their Instagram, give them encouragement. This is such an amazing post. I'm so proud of you. Let them comment back. We're here to help each other. If you see people on your team, do that, because the algorithm pushes them up to the top and it allows their page to be more seen. And
like that post was saying earlier that Aud wrote, the whole idea of Instagram is to be social and is to have a conversation. And so when people engage with them back. And if it's natural, I like to ask a question back in some of my responses to give another, to let the conversation continue. And so with that, going back to be aware, very, very aware of what your audience engages most with. It might not be marriage. It might not be puppies. It might not be whatever, but there is something that your audience likes in particular that you post. And that's not to wear them out. And we don't only post about marriage, but we are mindful that that's what our audience, for whatever reason, resonates with the most. And so we know that when we're going about it, and it'll be different and unique for you, but it's good to know that.
So here are some examples of some captions that we wanted to show you. So this is a caption that I just posted. I was at the beach. It says, when I first met James, I thought he was a hot surfer boy. Okay, if you read that first sentence, you're going to be like, okay, why did she think that? And it's not a super long caption. And it just shares about our love. It gets a glimpse into our life. It gives a glimpse into who we are as people. My first initial impression of him, and that is just James and I. That is who we are and what we do. And again, Emma is married. She's going to want to be a part of something like that. So here is Jenna Kutcher, who is somebody that I really love to follow on Instagram because she's very inspiring, very real. She talks about body image in such a beautiful way, and she treats everybody as her best friend. So her very first sentence is Wife of the Year Award. Well, shoot, what did she do to become the Wife of the Year? She makes you want to read what she's going to say. And not every single one of her posts are super long, but the times that she wants to say something, that first initial status gets her in. Okay, here is a great post that Kelly Dickerhoof, who's, top 10 income earners worldwide, did on the Shake Release Day. I just learned yesterday the piña means pineapple and colada does not mean coconut. It means strained. Thanks. And then she goes on to the shake release. She didn't go overboard with, hey, buy my shakes. This is what's going on. When you go, if you turn on my grandma Ida, she loved to watch QVC. I never heard anything that they were saying because it was just an infomercial. It was boring. You just scrolled on past it. You wanted to find something that was entertaining. You want to be entertaining when you're talking about your products, spicing up what it is that makes you you. The way that Kelly Dickerhoof did this, it was so inviting. It was so amazing. It wasn't, hey, buy my shake. This is what's happening right now. It was, oh my gosh, I just learned yesterday. Like, that's Kelly Dickerhoof's personality.
Guys and girls go about Instagram differently. So I've had to develop a feel for it, just like anybody else who's on social media. But just know with these 3 examples, they're women. That's okay. For the guys on the line, you know that guys resonate differently with different vernacular, different tones and whatnot. So again, this goes back to you engaging and you being mindful of who you're speaking to and who is listening to you. So it's not always going to be necessarily a cheesy line. If your audience is going to look at that and be like, wow, he's never cheesy, or he never says stuff like that, then that might not be congruent. But being, like she was saying, having the freedom to be witty or to say something, semi-sarcastic that would kind of make people chuckle and get your humor a little bit is a great thing. Yeah.
So here's a caption that Taylor Smith did for her transformation post. Transformations are about progress. She grabs you in with that transformation. I hunted this old photo picture of me 2 years ago. I'm blown away not only by the physical transformation, but by the mental, emotional, and spiritual one. The left picture was an all-time low physically. I was exhausted from the moment I woke up until my daily nap and then bed. Food cravings controlled me, and I was at my heaviest I had ever been. How many of you in that sentence feel for Taylor Smith right now? You do. People relate to pain. Mentally and emotionally, anxiety had gotten the best of me, and I remember having frequent panic attacks and feeling so defeated. I knew very little about strengthening the mind, and my emotions controlled me. And she goes on to talk about the pain, and then she goes on to talk about the redemption. And look at that post, 446 likes because of the authenticity. So here's another transformation post by Chelsea Taylor. On the left is the result of giving birth to 3 beautiful children, and on the right is a result of fueling my body with the right nutrition and having a desire to show mamas that you do not have to lose yourself in motherhood. Well, if I have had 3 babies or a baby and I saw that picture, Chelsea's avatar is exactly what she just posted about. It draws you in. Look how aesthetically pleasing. We're going to talk about the aesthetics in a second. Chelsea Walker, swipe right. The girl on the left had tried everything, has deprived herself just to see a pound lost and then gained right back. Struggled with energy and brain fog. Wouldn't wear a crop top because of being uncomfortable in her skin. Insert nutritional cleansing. Honestly, I can relate to that so much because that's how I felt prior to Isogenics. So as you can see, these are just 3 examples of how to do this in a classy way. We want our brand and our marketing to be classy because classy is effective. And if you look at who Kathy Cooper is, she is queen of class. Isogenics is a classy company, and we are representations of the company that we're partnered with.
Yes. All right, so here are some more captions. Here's one by Price. In January, I made a vision board with my team, and today, with happy tears in my eyes, I realized that over half of the things on my board have already come true. That's an amazing first sentence, right? You're like, okay, what did she put on her board, and
how did she do
it? She's progressing. People want to be around people who are moving forward, who are getting after things, and who are actually doing what they're saying and what they're setting out to do.
And just to point this out with Price, she's on her phone, so that's a virtual health and wellness business right there. And she didn't say, hey, this is how much money I made. But what she's doing is she's talking about what the financial freedom gave her. So you may not be at a place in your business where you're making thousands of dollars, a month or a week yet, but you will be there. But what you can do is look at your life right now. What has Isagenix given to you financially that you didn't have prior? You don't have to necessarily post incomes, but you can say, I had this opportunity and I, took my kids to Disney World and we were able to do this because of this opportunity. So Price does a beautiful job of articulating the financial freedom without necessarily saying, money exactly in that particular post.
And I love how Price, you started it out by saying, buy a house debt-free. That gets everybody's attention. People go, whoa, okay, that's more than just $50. But then you insert other stuff that isn't related to business, like date my husband, where people are like, oh, wow, like that's great. She's being intentional about her marriage and all that. So it's not like made a lot of money, made more money, got to make more money and made more money. It's the parts of the vision board that make up Price. And part of that is a relationship with her husband. And I love how you did that.
So the next one is one that I actually just recently posted about our team. My first caption says, I love helping people get paid. Like, what if somebody didn't know me at all, they'd be like, oh, well, how does she help other people get paid? Like, what does she do? My passion is to show them how to make a full-time income while putting in part-time hours from home. And I go on to talk about, there's a picture of Danielle Roback. She made over $6,500 the month of April. And I showed that income with the income disclaimer attached. If you are going to post an income, you have to have the disclaimer attached to it. So what I did was I showcased what was going on with the team. Now use the stories. If you don't have people on your team who are making a significant income yet, post about what they are doing, or use other people's posts in Freedom Living Team or other people's incomes in Freedom Living Team, their stories to share about them. So hashtags is an important part of Instagram. What the hashtags do is we keep them in the notes section on our phone. So we have a bunch of hashtags in the notes section on our phone so that when we're getting ready to post, we have them immediately ready. We just copy them so we can paste them in the comment section as soon as we post our picture. So we post in the comments directly after we post it. And what that does is it boosts your influence with your audience viewers and gets more eyes on your post. So if I post a picture of a shake and I do hashtag shake, hashtag nutrition, hashtag holistic, hashtag weightlifting, hashtag fat loss, all of the people who are looking at that immediately and directly after, it has to be right afterwards, that's going to pop up on the Explore page when they're looking at that hashtag.
So it's the same way a search engine works when you search food and it'll show like related searches or words similar to. What you're doing is you're just increasing, like this is saying, the engagement, where somebody, in Texas is searching for holistic solutions. So they search hashtag holistic, and all of the posts that have that attached to the picture come up. So they might not be looking for quote unquote nutritional cleansing or shake, but they see holistic or holistic wellness and they see your picture and they come across it. So you're broadening the net in which people are able to view and stumble across your post, which is the key.
Yeah. So here's just a couple examples of the hashtags. Lily, if you do the 4 dots in the comments, it doesn't show up, which is really cool. So she posted a picture about nutritional cleansing. So she did hashtag health, wellness, motivation, discover. And what that did was it popped her up on the feed. Here's one from, I think this was Lindsay. Lindsay did all of these hashtags right after her power post, and it got her rolling as well. So we're going to get into the pictures and the aesthetics.
Yep.
The pictures and the aesthetics for your Instagram. It's not just about the captions. It's about the pictures. It's about being aware of how you're taking pictures, where the lighting is, the angle of the phone, and it's something that you continue to practice. I've learned so much about marketing and branding over the last, several years since being an Isagenix. So again, honor your process. Honor where you're at, where your alignment is with your business, but your pictures and the aesthetics for your Instagram, it does matter. So if you're taking a selfie, and I know Taylor Smith, when she talks about Instagram, she talks about this a lot. If I'm taking a selfie and I go this way to take a selfie and I go like this picture,
I don't know if you guys can see that.
This picture looks terrible because the light is behind me. The light needs to be in front of me, smiling. And now I've got a great picture because I took it with the light in front of me. So when you're looking at your Instagram, do you want to talk about this?
Color scheme, let's briefly touch on this because I don't want it to be too overwhelming. We have found that when people come to Isagenix, we want them to feel safe. We want them to feel comfortable. We don't want them to feel overstimulated or too confused. And a lot of that has to do initially with visuals. And so don't get too OCD about this. I would encourage just find a healthy balance for you, but maybe start being intentional with it and starting to pick out some colors. And so for Aud, she's been picking out more
blues and blushes and whites.
Yeah, more neutral white and not really any hard bright colors, which if you knew her in the past, it was all neon.
You're going to see it in just a second.
And bright. So finding maybe a color spectrum of saying, I want to focus on these type of colors to make that congruency visually when people go to your page and see your first 9 photos or scroll a little bit, they can see, whoa, this is actually really appealing to my eye. I want to see, this person obviously is very intentional about what they post.
Clear and bright pictures is so important. Don't post a picture that's dark. If you want to post something, post it on your Facebook instead. Your Instagram, we live in a society, and James shared this with the brand ambassadors at Isagenix. We live in a society now where human beings, we are viewed and judged by the first 9 pictures on our Instagram feed. 12 pictures. And as silly as that sounds, you want people to look at your page. You might have 100 people look at your page every single week, or 200. And as it grows, it can grow into the thousands. If your colors and your pictures aren't clear and bright, they're not going to be grabbed by them. They've got to be grabbed by them. Your captions could be so on point, but if you don't have clear and bright pictures, it's not going to matter. So let's talk about professional photography for a second. Now, you may not be in the place where professional photography is something that you want to do. But what you can do is maybe you could grab your friend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your business partner, and ask them to take some beautiful pictures of you. Maybe do your hair, do your makeup, go to a coffee shop, get some pictures of you working on your laptop or on your phone. If you want to get professional photography done, you could post on your Instagram stories, which we're going to talk about Instagram stories before we get off of this call tonight as well. Looking for some up-and-coming photographers who are looking to expand their portfolio. You would be surprised at how many professional photographers are looking to expand their portfolio and are willing to take pictures of you for free. Be willing to ask and to see what's out there, but having nice, aesthetically pleasing pictures are what's going to grab people into really what you're doing. So the apps that James and I really like to use to brighten the photography is we use Snapseed, Facetune, James uses Visco and Lightroom. Now let me preface by saying, Taylor Smith introduced me to Snapseed 2 years ago, and she can let you know I was not good at all at editing my pictures in any way, shape, or form. But I'm going to give you a couple tips to enhance your photos. You want to enhance the photos by enhancing the brightness, and aesthetically, cooler pictures, more blues are more aesthetically pleasing to the eye than yellows are. So cool the pictures more than you want to warm the pictures. If you're looking at somebody who goes, because I was a hairstylist, so this makes sense to me. When somebody came and sat in my chair and a girl wanted to get blonde highlights, she always requested cool highlights. Cool highlights were more of the blonde platinum look, whereas warm highlights are more of a yellow bronzed look. And most women, when they get highlights, they want their hair to be more platinum and more cool. It's the way that it is with your photos as well. Play around with these apps. Give yourself grace and give yourself time to learn how these apps work. So if this is brand new to you, it took me quite some time to understand how to edit my photos. But it's okay. We're all in the process of evolving, just like Jane said.
And then we have Unum and Plan. These two apps are really great because they help to all of the stuff that we're talking about as far as, you know, structure and aesthetically pleasing colors and whatnot. You're like, how do I do that? These apps help with that, where you can actually put pictures together and see how they are visually before you post them. And so we just got turned on to this a couple months ago, and it's been incredibly helpful for us.
Because it allows you to see, okay, this picture that I just edited, it's actually a little too on the yellow side, and my colors are more white and blue and blush, so I need to cool that down a little bit. So it shows you exactly what it's going to look like before it goes on your Instagram feed. I use Unum or Unum. Whatever. Plan is another app. I like Unum the best just because it allows me to see what am I going to post, and I can actually put 4 to 5 pictures, 7 to 8, 9 pictures all in a row. That way, you know what? Tomorrow I have a really busy day. I don't know what to post. Oh, I already have my picture in place. I already have my caption because on Sunday I decided to make my caption. I'm just going to post that, and boom, it's posted. It hasn't taken any time out of my day. I'm using my Instagram as a tool that's working for me versus working against me. So here are a couple pictures. This is my Instagram feed. As you can see, it's clear, it's clean, it's concise. I've got the rank advancements with their incomes there. This is what my Instagram used to look like. So look at the difference between both of those. If you were to look at my Instagram on the left, you'd be like, oh, wow, this is so pretty. Which one looks prettier, the left one or the right one? The left one does. If you look at my rank advancement photos on the right, it's just, they're not congruent. I've got the same font for the ones on the left. I have different fonts for the one on the right, and there really isn't a theme to what's going on the right side of my photos.
And know also to that, you guys, whoever was on Instagram 5 to 7 years ago knows that it was a completely different app in the sense of what people used it for, how they used it. We put all these crazy filters on it, and we thought they looked awesome because they was like an artsy app, but now it's turned into, you know, the blogger main stage and people where they sell retail and all of this stuff. So it has evolved. And that's what we keep talking about as far as watching the progression and listening to the market, listening and seeing what's actually taking place and being willing to change it up to follow along with that.
So here's another beautiful, a beautiful Instagram. Taylor loves Jillian Harris, so we threw this one on there for you, T. Smith. Hayden Vavra, this is a great one for a guy. So,
you know, as a guy, you know, you're thinking cool, light, pastel colors. That doesn't need to be you. Find what feel you're really wanting to give. And guys, there's a learning curve to this. Give yourself grace. It's really okay. But just taking the initiative and setting the intention of saying, I want to be more intentional with what I post and have there be a little bit more congruency and intention behind it. You look at that, it's not bright, it's not pastels, but they are clear pictures. You can see his face, and there is that structure of the quotes in the black and white, which does look very uniform.
This is Eden Slobin's Instagram before, and this is Eden Slobin's Instagram after. Which one looks like a millionaire? The left one or the right one? The right one. And I'll tell you, her followers went up by the thousands after she made the transition of finding the professional photography, of really picking her color scheme. I mean, She got really, really specific on her avatar, but look at the difference between those. And the cool part about this is your entire Instagram feed can change in 1 week's time. So it can look completely different. And your posture will look completely different. So now we're going to talk about Instagram stories, and then we will be finished.
Wrapping up.
Yeah. So the purpose of Instagram stories is to show more real life stuff. Your Instagram feed needs to be perfect and beautiful, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be beautiful looking. But your Instagram stories don't. And it gets to show the silly, the quirky, the fun side of you that allows people to know you. Remember, it's showing the fun side of you, but remember that, oh, wait, sorry. I thought it had something. But remember, the whole purpose of this is that you would make new friends, that people would feel like they want to be your friend. And Instagram stories allows you to do that.
One of the things that I really like about Instagram stories is that you can see who's watching you, right? So we talk about all the time. You don't always know who's watching. There's so many people that see your post that never like, that never comment. Lane Taylor is one of those. He watched for 4 years, never liked or commented on a single post. But with Instagram stories, you get to see who's actually watching. And you can scroll through and see, okay, wow, this person is actually, taking note in my Instagram stories. So that can maybe give, a little bit of a story in you of saying, well, I could make a post that's a little bit more geared towards this person. Maybe they would resonate with it a little bit. Also, one of the things that's fun you can do now is you can take a poll. So when you go up to the features of the story after you've made your video, you can click on where it says poll, and you can ask your audience a question and they can vote on it. And so it gets them involved too of, how, do you like my hair better up or down? Or, make it silly, and you can see who all voted, and you can comment back to them and send them messages. And it makes it to where, again, you're having more of a touch with your audience and getting them more involved in your life and starting that virtual relationships, which will then turn into a real relationship.
Yeah. So, and it allows you to expand more of your thoughts, expound on more of your thoughts. Like if you have an encounter with someone and you want to impart something to somebody, you can use those Instagram stories to really love on people, encourage them, show them the depth of who you are. A lot of people you can feel things more when you can hear somebody's voice versus just reading it. And so the Instagram stories validate who you are on your feed and vice versa. And it is such a powerful tool to continue to reach engagement. Like we love having fun on our Instagram stories. I mean, people come up to us and they're like, oh, did you guys get the bugs out of your house? Because we use the Instagram stories to talk about the bugs. When you guys remember the bugs last year, they're gone now.
Not anymore.
But we used the Instagram stories and people thought we were so funny because we talked about that. And at that time and that season, unfortunately, bugs were part of our brand. But now that they're gone, they're not there anymore. So when it comes to rank advancements, bookend your transformation and rank advancements with your own excitement, joy, and personal touch. So many times, again, remember infomercial. If you're just posting, buy my pina colada shake, and you're not saying anything about it, is that really doing what you want to do, which is to grow your influence and make more friends? Probably not. If you're just saying consultant, manager, you've got to remember, somebody who doesn't know the Isagenix lingo, they don't know what consultant means. They don't know that it means opening up the doors to residual income. But if I make a video and I say, I'm so excited to share with you about my friend, give me a name, my friend Leah, she just hit her very first leadership level in our company and she made $150 and I'm so excited for her. And then I show a picture of Leah, people feel like they know her. Whereas I just post a picture and say, first level of leadership, consultant, manager, say something. Allow people to be intrigued to know, okay, you're excited about your business. Rather than if you just post rank advancements and transformations over and over and over again, people are going to click through and you're probably going to get unfollowed. But if you say, guys, I've been using this nutrition, I've been helping my new friend Marie, you've got to see her transformation, and you show the transformation, there's so much more of an emotional attachment to that.
Yes, and again, remember, the theme is attracting friends. So having that conversation in having fireside chats, acting like people are in your living room and they're just getting to hear what you're excited about when it comes to your business, the transformations and whatnot. Celebrate. Here's another thing. Celebrate what you want more of. Going back to integrating business into your conversation, into who you are on Instagram. Talk about the money, you guys. People, they need help to alleviate this financial stress that so many people are feeling on a daily basis. So talk about the money, talk about the freedom. And even if you haven't made a 6-figure income yet, you guys, I can guarantee you almost every single one of you, if not every single one of you, has made some money with Isagenix that has made some sort of impact. Maybe you've been able to eat for free. Maybe you just have Isagenix paid for and you get free organic groceries every month. How many people would love to get free organic groceries every month? And also celebrating your team so people can see that you're not alone. And if you are growing your team and maybe there's not tons of them yet, use other people in Freedom Living Team. When they get celebrated, you can grab their picture and celebrate them too. And people will see that you're not alone, that there's a community of people doing it with you who are all having fun, being encouraging and supporting each other, with what they're going after. That's enticing to people. People want to be a part of a group of individuals who are loving, authentic, encouraging, and supportive.
And guys, you know what? I really want to stick on this for one more moment. The whole thing that James and I have shared this whole year is the transition of really talking about the income first and landing on the products. If you have somebody who's talking to you first about the products, insert the opportunity and what the financial freedom can be for them every single time you connect with somebody. Because as I'm looking at all of you on the screen, when we get off of here, all of you desire to make a significant income with Isagenix. That happens when you talk more and you get more excited about the opportunity that's attached versus the products. We know that we have the best products on the planet. We do. But when you begin to really focus on your avatar, you talk about the income in a way that your avatar would want to hear about it, you're going to notice and you're going to see these people attracted to your business in a way that you never have before. So
just to recap, the benefits of leveling up and up-leveling your Instagram. We're getting your voice and your story out to more people so they can be impacted and enhanced and their lives can be benefited just like your life has been impacted and benefited. So it increases your voice, your team will grow, it'll increase your influence, it'll increase your enrollments, it'll increase your professionalism, and it'll increase your income and the income of those who come in after you. All of these things, you guys, are going to require maybe shifting some things and evolving and progressing in areas of your life. But we all are on this line because we desire more freedom, not only for ourselves, but we require more freedom for our families, for our friends, for those who we love, and those who we are meeting on a daily basis.
Yeah. So we're excited to see all of your businesses grow. If you have specific questions regarding Isagenix, regarding the branding and marketing, we're gonna close the call, but we'll stay on here to answer any questions that you have that you want to hear get answered, because we want you guys to utilize your Instagram in a way that is super, super powerful. I mean, when you think about it from your fingertips right here, Instagram has the ability to reach billions of people. Like, there are 2 billion people who are on Instagram as a platform. Think of how many people you can impact by utilizing it as the tool that it's really designed to be. So we're excited. We're excited for all of you guys. Does anybody have any specific questions that they want answered while we're here on the line? There is no silly answer at all.
Also, has this been beneficial? You guys learned some good stuff? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Stories, how to make them do all the stuff you make them do.
I'll show you really quickly.
What does that mean?
Like all the polls and what? The polls? Like, how do you do the poll and whatnot? Okay. So you're at Instagram. Okay. You're going to swipe over, or you can, you'll swipe. I just swipe. So you'll swipe over, and then that's the story, right? So we'll take we'll take a story. We're here on the marketing call. Woo, a lot of fired up individuals. All right, sweet. So when you're seeing this video, right, can you guys see this okay? Okay. So there's this button right here. You're going to click on it. It looks like a little Post-it note. You're going to click it, and it's going to come up with these options. There's the temperature, the time. You can geotag your location, which I would highly recommend you guys doing. And then right here, it says poll. And so you can do a poll, and you can say, you know, who's fired up? So you'd say, who's fired up, question mark, and then you can have your, you can change the answers. So then people will see this, and they can vote. I'm trying to make it where you can see it. They can vote me or whatever. You can get creative with it. And then after you post it, you can see who all has voted. So does that answer your question?
Okay. Awesome. And okay. Wendy said, are the majority of your photos with a professional camera, or do you use your phone too? We got a professional photographer to take some pictures of us, but other photos, like the one of us on the beach, was actually just taken with my phone, which wasn't a professional camera. I used Snapseed and Facetune to brighten up the picture to make it look like it was professional. So you don't have to use professional photos. Remember, it is about the editing, and it is about the brightness of the photos that allow it to be so aesthetically pleasing. Anybody else have any questions?
So
Snapseed, Facetune.
Lightroom I found is very good and very simple.
And guys, if I could tell you anything, Unum, which I just typed it in there, is amazing. It helps so much with not having to focus on what your posts need to be for the week. It's right there because you can put 7 pictures in there and see what it's going to look like on your feed. So anybody else have any questions?
I think Rachel, did you have a question? I don't know if she raised her.
Oh wait, you got to unmute. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Can you explain how you break up the periods, the paragraphs again? It's a period or emoji.
So it's a period emoji, or it can be a dash. And what you're going to do is, let's say you've got your first sentence, and let's say, I love helping people, with a heart emoji. Directly after the heart emoji, you cannot put a space. You just click enter. Put a period or a dash or an emoji and press enter again, and you can type out your sentence. Right after your sentence is done, don't press space, press enter again, and it wraps it around.
Okay.
And you can do that in your notes and then copy and paste it to Instagram.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any?
Wendy said, are you doing a comment on your post within the team? No. You know, we're not using a wing team, but you know, it's a great point, Wendy. If you see somebody that's, you know, posting, it's on, you know, Freedom Living team or whatnot, you know, that's what we're all about, right? Is giving and showing some love. So give them a comment. Oh my gosh, love this post. Love your transformation. Amazing. Like, this is so good. Other people don't know that you're necessarily on the same team. So it just increases that engagement.
So Alex had a great question. She said, is it best to delete old Instagram photos from years ago, or just start posting the theme photos to transform your Instagram? I'll tell you what happened for me. When I really began to have this understanding of who I really wanted to attract into my business, when I scrolled back to my old photos, that wasn't me anymore. They weren't me. Like, that's not who I am today. I archived them, which there's a little the 3 dots. The 3 dots, you can press archive, and it saves them to your archive section so you can still see them, but it removes them from your feed.
It hides them.
And my encouragement would be that if you have photos of you from years ago and you're a completely different human, like, I know that I'm very different than I was a couple years ago, and some of those photos did not and do not represent who I am and who I want to attract, so I just archive them. And that's something that you can decide on your own. You can archive them, or you can delete them.
Or you can leave them.
Or you can leave them. It's whatever feels best for you.
That's a good question, though. Anybody else? Does anybody else have any questions whatsoever? Okay.
All right, sweet.
You guys, we are so excited for all of you of implementing, again, whatever resonated with you. We get that maybe not all of it did, and we hope that you are leaving feeling free, feeling empowered, feeling excited. You guys, we're living in a world where you can build whatever size business from this thing right here. We're all on the phone with each other, looking at each other's faces from all across the country. We live in such a special time. And the timing of Isagenix and the timing of where everything is primed, it's so set up for success for you. It really, really is. In anything in this world, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to put forth effort. But in this time, in this season, in this space and age, there is nothing like what we have here with Isagenix, with Instagram, with this community. And so embrace that and let it be fun. Figure out how it can be fun and exciting and adventurous for you. Don't see it as a chore and this is the worst. It's exciting to get to build and to help and meet new people.
And just remember, it is very important to post something every day. So is a great app, again, that helps with that. So we love you guys. We pray for you. We pray for your success. The best time of day to post, I would say for me, I like posting between 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And 6 p.m. to about 10 p.m. Eastern, because when people get to work, they kind of get lost in the middle of the day. So those are the times that I would post.
We love you guys. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night. We're excited to see all of your Instagrams and social media take off.
Bye.
See you guys.